Okay, well, Westmoreland House, it's a property that's been derelict for a considerable amount of time. My understanding is it's owned by the Comer brothers. Their property company is called OPEC Prime Development, I believe. Recently they attempted to get planning permission to create 160 plus luxury, principally one-bed apartments in the building. It was a scheme that effectively meant demolishing Westmoreland House and rebuilding the tower. The Comer brothers, my understanding is that they've owned that property for something like 22 years. I think they have left it empty for the longest time. So it's a shell building. And what we have now is a situation where this property is really the linchpin of what could happen in Stokes Croft, and conventional development by a property developer to squeeze in lots and lots of small one-bedroom flats is probably the very last thing that needs to happen in this area. And it seems to me that this is actually a golden opportunity for us to reverse the current trend and to take this property back to do something genuinely innovative. Genuinely exciting, using the buildings as they are. That's where I'd like to see us going with it. There has been much talk of Bristol City Council compulsorily purchasing the property to force Comer's hand. Now, unfortunately, the problem with that is that in order to accomplish a compulsory purchase scheme, you have to have a plan for what you're going to do with the property, and that would almost certainly inevitably involve a partnership with another company like OPEC Prime Development to build lots of one-bedroom apartments. So even the idea of compulsorily purchasing the property would inevitably lead to another development that really wouldn't serve Stokes Croft very well. And so it seems to me that what we need to be doing is to find a way for the community, with or without Bristol City Council or in partnership with Comer Homes, to produce something that would genuinely serve the needs of community. And I think really that's way we need to be going. We need to be much more gentle with our infrastructure, and even Westmoreland House, which is generally considered a 1960s monstrosity. But it seems to me that given that we have now got this structure, and given that we need to be looking at more ecological ways of treating our world, then perhaps we should be looking at refurbishing what is essentially a solid structure. And there would be something poetic about turning something that has been seen as the biggest carbuncle in Stokes Croft into the most exciting and interesting building without doing very much, and just very gently refurbing what we've got, and a firm commitment to not knocking down our buildings. I mean, we're still living under the threat of the Lakota being knocked down, and Clockwork is scheduled to be knocked down. And when you actually start to look at it, you can see that many of the problems of this area are directly attributable to poor planning decisions. It's now 2010 and we're looking at the possibility of yet another poor planning decision if Bristol City Council give permission for Tesco's to open, against the manifest and express wishes of the whole community. So Westmoreland House is an important battleground, and it is important that it be retained, warts and all, in my view.